Brodes Media.
Jalen, without A.J. Brown, popping 4 tutties. 15 of 20, finding Smitty. The run game was unreal. We had 2 100-yard rushers. What a great game. 6-2 as they head into the bye. This is why the phrase stacking wins when it's September and it's ugly matters. Because if one of those games change, you're 5-3, which feels so much different. If 2 of those games change, you're 4-4. No. 6-2, momentum building, adding things to the offense. It's being molded. You're looking like a force again. Things are starting to blend. Stacking the wins are crucial. Outstanding effort. Now, I know exactly where the dumb fucking moronic Giants fans are going with this. The refs. Let me explain something to you. Because clearly, you're brain dead. For every single one of these plays that you're barking about and crying about in a 20-point loss, may I add, 18, but who's counting? There was something so egregious that was missed on the Eagles side of things. Was the tush push a fumble? Yes. Yes, it was. Were the idiotic referees so stupid that they didn't realize when Burns met Hurts out of bounds that it was a first? So let me get this straight. The refs screw up where the ball should go, which then led to a 4th down. You have to tush push it. Instead, it should have been 1st and goal. Shut your mouth. Shut your fucking mouth. You can't complain. That play shouldn't have even had to have been ran. Let's go to the next one. Your Scatabo touchdown? Nakobe Dean gets tackled, fucking picked up, bear hugged, tossed to the ground, and even an elbow to the back of the neck. I added that part. That part didn't happen. But that should have been a touchdown. In what universe? What do you think? Nakobe Dean just accidentally, magically fell? How about the clear and obvious fumble by Jackson Dart that somehow got overturned? So when Darius Slayton does his obvious little push off, and you got Brian Dable on the sideline, with his headset on, looking like a damn clown. Should have been Eagles ball. You morons. Anyway, now that I got that off my chest, what happened in the football game? Jalen was special. You know he's got 1 interception, 20 touchdowns, and by the way, 19 of them aren't runs. Because that's always been the knock. Well, these shouldn't count. Those ones shouldn't count. Okay. Here's 15 in your face. 1 interception. He's playing like an MVP with the way he's leading this group at the top of the NFC. 6-2 puts you in play. Hosting an NFC championship game. These games all matter even when they're gross and ugly. I'm saying before this game, when you cry and complain that you don't like this, you don't like that. Well, I didn't either, but I was willing to give them a grace period to find their groove, to find their rhythm. You're running the ball under center now. What do you know? You do it, you take it 60 to the house. You're using the middle of the field. Your concepts running the football have changed. You're starting to get going here. And I'll give credit to Kevin Patullo. I thought he looked overmatched early. And I was always prefacing it by saying, hey, Kellen Moore struggled too. I just had more faith in Kellen Moore after his first 4 weeks because he has done it in the league and put up some good numbers with Dallas. So there was more substance and more to bite into. But I understood a veteran presence once needed some weeks under his belt to get it to where it needed to be. Kevin Patullo looked clearly overwhelmed. Part of the reason why the red zone's successful, though, is what he does. And now you're starting to see the playbook open and it look real again. So I'll give him love. I'm not a hater. All I want is my football team to look this clean. All I want is to have them operate like a super efficient NFC title championship caliber team. That's the standard. It wasn't early, even though I acknowledged winning those games when it wasn't early mattered. But when it clicks the way I need it to click, I'm going to love you. No A.J. Brown. I bet you A.J. Brown is somewhere not happy. What? Who said that? Just being honest with you. I bet you he thought, hey, don't worry about it. This offense is going to struggle. I'm going to delete all the tweets I've ever tweeted. When Jalen Hurts is in the tweet, I'm going to get that off my social media platform. Oh, man, rough. Rough. You know he's not thrilled. It's the truth. Hey, credit to some of these guys on the D-line. Saw Jalix Hunt pop off a couple times. I saw Uche as well do his thing a couple times. Jalen Carter got in there. And I'm not telling you it's where it needs to be. And I don't even know if Brandon Graham is enough of an addition. There's also Nolan Smith too. But if I'm looking at this trade deadline, yes, I would like even more so we can get this D-line to be where we are more comfortable. But it was there for the first time in a while. You started to see you suffocate the Giants. They were getting overmatched, and you got guys in the backfield to really have to force Jackson Dart to do a couple of things. And look, it is a shame with what happened to their running back. I mean, that definitely changed all the feelings in the stadium. It changed. Honestly, I was sitting in my basement here with my daughter. I was feeding her bottle, right? And when it happened, I could even feel my basement shifting. It was me and her. She's 4 months, and I could just feel it flat in my basement. I can only imagine what the hell it was like in the ballpark, in the stadium, and also for the Giants. So, I mean, no one ever wants to see somebody go down and then, you know, put it on the fact that it was like that gruesome of an injury. It's just horrible. It's just flat out horrible. You know, you want to take teams out when they're playing with their best, and you want to take on the challenge of seeing your rival when they're healthy with this youth movement and part of their big personalities being on the field, and you want that challenge and you want to accept it and see where it takes you, especially with how the Giants whooped your ass on Thursday Night Football, and he was just a machine running people over left and right. So, you know, you want a real chance to do it with him out there. It's heartbreaking, without a doubt. I mean, it's heartbreaking stuff. So sending all the best wishes here. I know everyone else in Philadelphia is as well, for as brutal of a place we can be as they were preparing for it. You know, everyone there obviously sending him his best wishes on his way out when he was on the cart, but just horrible. Man, how about Tank Bigsby? Tank fucking Bigsby. What was it, 2nd and 30? Was it? Now, some of those guys don't stand a chance with the injuries. You got guys getting called up from the practice squad, Jahan Dotson's mossing people left and right. But the reality is, this is who you were facing. And when you're facing a team like that, that's that diminished on the outside, I need to see players like Jahan Dotson making Randy Moss-like catches. That's what must be done. It's an uncontrollable who's out there. You just have to dominate whoever. And you were able to do that. Jalen was strong. The running game, you get two guys that are running over 100 yards, which then means we need to give some love and appreciation to some of the big fellas that were blocking up front. And I thought Thoat had some big blocks. I thought behind the run game was able to run behind some of these nice pancakes. It wasn't all pretty. That first quarter, I think you had what, maybe 3 offensive line penalties? Lane Johnson had a hold on Abdul Carter. Tyler Steen jumped on the 4th down when they were going for it, 4th on 3, which then led to a 58-yard field goal attempt, which hit the pole, which then gave the Giants a short field, which then led to a touchdown, and that was a huge swinging moment of the game, but that didn't discourage anybody. And there was another one. Oh, Landon Dickerson had a penalty as well. So for Nick Sirianni to preach about the detailed and all that, the offensive line was the complete opposite in the early frame. But I want to get to that 4th and 3 real quick, because something that I think really bothered me was the instant reaction to go for it. Because, well, Brodes, you could have went up 10-0, and you could have forced the Giants to be down in a toxic environment with very young players and dare them to fight back and beat you. Why wouldn't you take the 10-point lead? Because I want my team to have balls. I want my team to double, triple, quadruple down on their offense. I want them to lean on the strength of Jalen Hurts playing at an MVP level. I want that to be our bread and butter. So I got no issue. If you're going to go down swinging by being uber aggressive and to go for it on 4th down, so you could be up 14 against the Giants. I like that more. I like the idea of 14-0 and Darren Jackson, Dart, and Scatterboo to beat you without Malik Neighbors and other names. That's what I want. I want to put our foot on their necks so they can't breathe. And I want to step down harder and harder and harder on their Adam's apple where they're coughing, begging for air. That's what I prefer. If you were to kick a field goal there was a part of me where the Giants have a mini win as they trot off the field and get their offense back on. I don't want that. I don't want them to have a mini win. I want them to feel pain. I want them to feel hurt. I want them to feel like they dug themselves in such a deep hole, and when they look up, they realize it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long battle. There's a lot we got to do. I want the 14. Now, unfortunately, they shot themselves in the foot and they weren't disciplined enough with Tyler Steen, and that's moronic. But I like the aggression. I like the mindset. I like the philosophy. I want that because it also tells me they're starting to believe. When I'm telling you about mojo and cohesion and coming together and feeling this thing out and having momentum, when you make those type of decisions, it's because I think you're starting to really trust. It's a complete opposite of the 3rd and long concedes, right? I can't sit here and bitch and cry about the 3rd down concedes and why are you punting? You're being so soft, and then get disappointed when you're trying to really square somebody up and punch them right in the nose. I'm going to appreciate that and really love it.